Welcome to another episode of The Biz, Season 1, Episode 4 to be exact. Today's guest is singer, songwriter, boxer, Young Steff. He's going to talk about his Roc-A-Fella days, his Atlantic record days, and so much more. Plus, what he's got going on now. Let's get into it. So, Steff, what's going on, man? How you been?
Melly Mel, what's up, man? Long time no see, man.
I know.
I'm good.
I appreciate you. This is episode 4 of The Biz, by the way. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's get into like why you wanted to be a singer, how you got into it initially, and let's move along like that.
Oh, initially it was just, me with my pops, me running through the crib as a little adolescent kid and just seeing him do it and just chasing the dream, and then, seeing like just seeing the ins and outs and the excitement of it. And then I seen Genuine on TV, and it was just like, who the hell is this with this broom? This is who I want to be.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It was him with the broom. And it was, after that, I was sold. That after I seen Genuine, I was completely sold. Like, it was first was my pop.
That's what did it.
Genuine really did it for me. Like, when I seen Genuine with the broom, I was like, okay, he's a ghetto Superman. I love him. You know what I mean? Like, and no disrespect, like even more than Usher. Like, I loved Usher too. I loved Usher, but it was something about Genuine's rawness I was more acceptable to. It just hit me better.
So that's when you was like, I'm gonna start taking this serious. Is that when
I was like 7? I was like 8 years old, and I got serious in my mind.
So when you was you singing other people's stuff, or was you starting to write as well too?
All right, I have to be honest. This is going to be huge. My first group that I really liked, even before Genuine, I have to be honest, was the Backstreet Boys.
Wow. So,
yeah.
So you was doing the whole thing in the mirror. You was doing the whole bye in the mirror.
I'm not ashamed of it, baby. And then I seen Genuine with the broom and was like, okay, but I can't stop on the Backstreet Boys, the worldwide, the legends themselves. They were like the first group. I bought their cassette tape. I was that young.
Wow, nice. So
yeah.
Then you started taking it serious. So you were taking it serious, singing other people's songs, or you were taking it serious writing too?
Writing as well as a kid, because I had an SWV cassette CD, and it had the instrumentals on it. So 8, 9 years old, I'm writing my own songs to the instrumentals.
Right.
So I've been writing forever. Now that I'm thinking about it, I've been writing forever. Like, and it's crazy that you're even bringing me back to that time, because I kind of like forgot. Like, in the midst of it, it's funny because my pops had came home one day and I wrote this song to a SWV beat on this instrumental, and I performed and I did a dance and everything. And after I blew his mind, I was just like, all right, I want to blow everybody's mind. If I can blow his mind, I'm blowing everybody's mind with this shit.
Wow.
And I ain't never stopped since then, bro, for real.
Right. So what happened next after that? Like, what was it, a deal? Like, how old were you when you signed your first deal?
My first deal, I was 12, turning
12 years old. Now,
I was 12 years old.
Did I miss anything between the 7, 8, 9 till 12? Did I miss anything?
Just preparation. It was 2 years of preparation, for real.
Okay.
It was like 2.5 years of straight preparation, and just me like practicing in the house and, just really getting my craft together and taking it serious. And we did the Apollo in Philly. And one of my uncles paid for me to do the Apollo in Philly. Being from the struggle, we had to get some help, but it happened. And once I won the Apollo, which was in 2010, 2011, as a kid, I won the Apollo. And then next thing you know, here come all the labels. The Apollo was the gateway into the game back then.
So that's when you knew I got something going.
And that was 2001.
On. Right. And that's when you knew I got something going. Is that when you knew, like, I think I got something?
Yeah, for real. That was like, because I was having fun with this whole thing, and I'm still having fun with this shit. Like, it's really about the love for me. Even at this point, it's just the love with this music shit. I love it. I love music. That's what keeps me going to this day. But the winnings also, push you further.
Right.
The winnings help you, feel a lot better about it. But my love for the music is why I'm never gonna stop.
Right. So when you won the Apollo, the label started coming. What was your first? Who was your first deal? What label, and why did you want to sign with them?
Well, my first time going to New York, I got denied by every label in New York City. That's what a lot of people don't know. We went to like 5 labels. everybody told me I wasn't ready yet.
Right.
So about a year and some change later, I went back up there. I was like 10, 11 years old when we first went up there. By the time I was 13, that's when we got the next deal. We went right back up to New York maybe like 6 to 8 months later. We got my shit back together and went right back up there. And long story short, I had a couple of situations. But what happened, what led me back to New York was the Apollo. Went to New York, everybody said no. Went back to training, getting my shit together. My pops had me fucking singing and dancing like Michael Jackson. It was real Michael Jackson.
Every day. But it's crazy though.
Literally, like,
came in when kids was, you know, like now it's like you don't see a lot of kids, but back then it was a lot of kids bubbling.
It was it was like the kid business for 2 seconds because of Bow Wow. Bow Wow had exploded. Yeah, he had led the way. Like in 2000, 2001, Bow Wow just led the way with this explosion of kid energy. He was just this little young thug type energy, and was just like, he wasn't bad as hell, but he gave like the little nephew that'll steal your chicken at the barbecue energy, and everybody loved it. Like, you know what I mean? For real. So like, I thank God I came in with that wave, man. Like I got to meet Bow Wow right away. Like actually, like I said, after the Apollo, which led to a bidding war, which led me to Rocafella.
Okay.
Rocafella was just more relatable. My management at the time, being that they came from the streets and stuff, you know, instead of going white collar with the suits and ties, they just went with more relatable things that I guess what they felt was more relatable. But, you know, we should have known better than to leave the hood to go deal with some more hood guys. Let's just say that.
So with the Roc-A-Fella deal, you chose to do that. Was it because they had the best deal on the table? It's because they was popping at the time? Jay-Z?
They were more relatable, man. I think even more so than the money and everything that goes along with it, they were just more relatable. You know, the whole energy was more relatable. It felt more like a family thing until, you know, obviously you got into it and you realized they were literally black. You know, they were blueprinting their whole thing after the Scarface, after the mafia, you know, how they even structured everything. We just really wasn't paying attention to it. You know, it was more so about, it was something else that we wasn't paying attention to, but we was paying attention to the stuff that I guess that connected us to them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They kind of knew how to make us feel like family and make us feel good. But Jive was like, you know, I had them all, but Jive was more so like the other label in 2000, 2001 that was really like after me.
Okay.
It was Jive and Rocafella. You know, that was the bidding war.
Right.
And we just went with Rocafella because, like I said, it felt more like a home. But shout out to Jimmy Manus. He really was like on my heels. Like he was really showing me like love. He was treating me like a little brother, like a little nephew. Like I really wanted to be at Jive because of how Jimmy Manus was treating me. But I also I knew that my team was like really more excited about Rocafella.
Right.
So I was just like, bitch, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to.
I'm just trying to sing.
I want to go. Let me go.
But the first time you met Jay-Z, how did you act?
I didn't give a damn.
You didn't care. I just want to sing.
I was 12 years old, man. I was.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Yeah, I was a little kid, so I didn't know nothing about no Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? And even when I went to his house, I was like, I was at his crib in Teaneck and shit. We had a little meeting. I met with Dame Dash first.
Okay.
And Dame Dash, I'm sorry, we met with Jay-Z first. And shout out to my guy Pop Huff in Philadelphia, man, and my man Sadiq and the whole Pop Huff and Kenny Gamble and that whole Philadelphia International team.
Right.
They're part of the reason why I got to this game as well. Me and my team connected with Pop Huff, who's Leon Huff's son.
Yeah.
He did a track for me. We did the track. This is in the midst of the whole Apollo shit. So long story short, I meet Sadiq. Sadiq called the meeting with Jay-Z. Like,
okay.
I don't remember the time. This was all around that same time when I was like 11, 12, 13. It just happened.
Yeah.
And it was a frenzy going on. You know, I just wanted Apollo. It was a frenzy. So long story short, we get up to New York Teaneck. I meet Jay-Z. I'm in his crib though, fucking with all this shit before he even comes out the room. I'm like touching his telescope and I'm in the crib just chilling, like, oh,
right.
Nice. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who no Jay-Z is. Even when he came out the room, you know, my papa didn't know, but his star effect didn't work with me. I'm a god in this game didn't matter to me. I'm a child to the world. Like, unless you had action figures or a video game, it didn't matter to me. Like, you know what I mean? I just know how to sing real good and dance. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
That's how innocent I was at the time. So to be with Roc-A-Fella and to have other young guys who don't have dads and was already in like dealing with real life and stuff, I was a beacon for a lot of young dudes that I didn't even really understand. Like, I didn't understand. I just loved music.
Right.
That was my thing. You know what I mean? So it's crazy, man. But you know, as soon as I got with Roc-A-Fella, I linked up with Bow Wow.
Yeah, you did a song with Bow Wow, right?
That was the first thing we did was go get Bow Wow on Can I Holler. Can I Holler was my song, and then that was on Like Mike the Movie. That was on the soundtrack. Like, you know, I honestly, Rocafella, you know, as a man now, Jay-Z and Dame Dash owe me a fade. They gotta throw some gloves on with me. Because see, there goes the karma and thinking you can just leave your little brother out here in the cold.
Yeah.
It don't work like that. I don't want to fight, I don't want to fuss. I love them both, but they know they're supposed to shoot a video and put me out right away. That song went platinum right away, Melly Mel.
Wow.
Can I Holler went platinum right away on that movie and that soundtrack. They were supposed to move on me right there.
So let me ask you this. Has the money kicked in yet or not yet at this point?
At the end of the day, I've created my own money. Because even after Rocafella, you know, I had another deal with Atlantic, which I actually, that gave me my own base. Because I seen Jay-Z in the midst of me signing with Atlantic, and he was like, "What's up with you?" And I'm just like, "I'm with Atlantic now." So he was like, "That's what's up. You're a grown ass man. That's what's up."
Right. So the Rocafella deal did not work out. You went to Atlantic. So now we're at Atlantic. Okay.
It was a good 8 months. It was a year between Rocafella and Atlantic. Literally, it was like I left Rocafella at 15. The whole year of 16, I got my shit back together again. Just went back into the drawing board and put out an independent joint called Steff Back Still in the Game.
Right.
That kind of like fluctuated for me. And by the time I was 17, I was back into taking meetings. And between 17 and 18 years old, I had got with Richcraft Atlantic, which was Richcraft Records, Rich Harrison, and it was at / Atlantic Records.
So how did that come about? Like he seen you somewhere? Like Rich seen you somewhere?
Well, shout out to my guys, H&H as well. They were working with the management team that I had at the time, and they just continued on with the relationships. This is something I learned, and they had relationships still. And in the midst of me still going, like I said, by the time I was 17, that's when they had like, you know, a couple relationships, and we linked up with some people that knew some people. And next thing you know, they like, okay,
let's
go. Know, your name flies. Like, let me holler at him. Let me see what he look like. Let me see what's going on.
Right.
So, you know, we linked up with Rich Harrison in Atlantic, long story short, and put that deal in place. And that kind of gave me my own 2 feet in the game. When Jukin came out was when I got my own 2 feet. I felt like
monster.
Yeah, Rocafella didn't matter at that time. Nothing mattered other than I got my own now. Because I was in the game at the time so long, I felt like, okay, I want to see if I can get something on my own now that doesn't have to do with another person claiming my fame.
Yes.
Like, and with Atlantic was kind of like me stepping in and claiming my own, you know, claiming myself as an artist and saying, I can do this. I don't need somebody else to wet me. Because with Rocafella, I was just hoping and praying Jay-Z just said, "Young Steff, go get him." That's all I needed.
Right.
Let's keep it real.
On the beginning.
That's all he did for Rihanna. Where you at?
And that's all you needed. One line, right?
It was after that. After he said, Rihanna, where you at? It was, you seen all this.
It's a hit record.
You know what I mean?
So how was it different as far as deal structure wise from Rocafella and Atlantic? Like it was definitely a better deal, right? At Atlantic.
You know, it's crazy. Come to realize that if not all the bosses that were at Rocafella, at least 90% of the people that were at Rocafella went over to Atlantic. So I was dealing with the same bosses. I was dealing with the same people. They actually knew who I was before they signed me. So it was kind of like, remember this budget we didn't finish? Let's finish it over here and clean things up here.
Okay.
Without me knowing as an artist, because the reality is, you know, there was a lot of money spent. You know, Atlantic spent a lot of money on stuff that didn't come out.
Yeah.
So that means that they were evening out the budget. Right. Monies that was spent over here, let's even it out over here. Yeah. And that's kind of like what happened with my situation at Atlantic. Great times, but a lot of missed opportunities.
So when did you know it was time to go? When did you know?
After Jukin, we had a meeting. I was like, I got a record with Cassidy. I'm ready to go. You know, shout out to my dog Cassidy. I had a couple different records I was ready to go with. But I'm like, all right, Jukin was cool, but I'm finally getting famous now. I just was on stage in front of 50,000. It's getting real now. Even though I didn't get paid for the show, it was like, we're getting there. Yeah. The promo. Yeah, all right, now let's get, you know, now we on. What we doing next? It was like, it's over. And I'm like, what do you guys mean it's over?
Right.
And this is the boss is telling me this.
Yeah.
So I've been a workhorse for the last 3-4 years, and then y'all tell me it's over. It's just like dealing with a label is very, very promiscuous. It's like dealing with a side chick. You do not know when she's ready to move forward. And the shit is so sweet when you got her.
Yeah, but when it's
when
gone,
she ready to go, you like, well, baby, ain't no but babies. You know what I mean? That week that you was going, I'm playing the lead. That's kind of how it goes with the labels. That's why they're dangerous. But you know, at the end of the day, hey, I'm not complaining. I was blessed. I toured the world, put out a national video, national singles. You know,
big record.
Hey,
juking is. I mean, that's a big.
I got me one.
Yeah,
I got me one.
Yeah. So let's talk about the boxing for a second, right? Because I watched the fight. Let's fast forward. If you want to say anything else in between Atlantic and the boxing, you want to say anything? Or are you good? So let's talk about the boxing for a minute. Like when I was watching your social media, I was like, guys, Steff is gonna knock him out, right? He's taking this serious. Like Steff is taking it serious. And when you was fighting, I was like, he's gonna knock him out. Cause he, you know what I mean? But I felt like you was holding back a little bit. I felt like that, right? Yeah. But I'm like, he won. I knew you was gonna win. I knew it. So do you really prepare? Like, what was the training for this fight? Like, what did you do? How intense was it?
It was incredible. It was, you know, this fight was crazy because for like the last 2 years, secretly, I've been in the gym, just paying myself attention. And Spirit been telling me just prepare. My spirit's been telling me prepare. And I'm like, what am I preparing for?
Right.
But I've been in the gym like 3-4 days a week for the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Which just getting my physical right and, you know, getting all the health things together. And this situation comes about in the midst of me and my independent situation. Shout out to my brother Reed Dollars. I'm in Miami. We're shooting the video. Got to check it out, you guys. It's called Young Goat. It's out right now everywhere. In the midst of that,
we're still working on music through everything. We're still
everything. That's why it was crazy because it's like a process of just rebuilding again. Yes. This is my third rebuilding, you could say, and this is my best. This is my best time, my best rebuilding. I think I'm dealing with the best materials this time. Right. But so we're in Miami. We're shooting a video. Shout out to my big homie Brick. We're talking boxing. He offers me the fight. Of course, I'm like, I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna do my thing or whatever. But you know, I mean, it's been years since I've been in a fist fight. I've always been known to be a fighter when I was young.
Right.
And I've always boxed. I've always done those type of things when I was young. I love physical sports. Other than me being a singer, you wouldn't know it if you lived around me. Right. You know what I mean? That's my reality. A lot of people don't know that about me, but you know now. But I took the situation on because it's like I'm in the midst of rebuilding me. If there's a question mark on my head, I'm about to knock it off. Mm-hmm. And that's what this fight was. You know, Raz B's already a legend. He's already kind of like a legend in this game, even though he hasn't never released on his own or anything like that. But what he's done with B2K can never be taken away. Never. It only could be added on. You know what I mean? And they're still touring to this day. Living young legends. I watched them young dudes came up under him, you know, doing their dances and everything, preparing for my moment.
Right.
You know, still, you know what I mean? In the midst of having my own, I still was preparing for my moment, watching Owen. You know, if everybody know who Raz B is, he was the most muscular. He was the hardest popping one in the group. He danced the hardest. Yeah. You know, he was the knucklehead. When they was getting drunk and partying, he was threatening all them. I'm gonna punch you in the face. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like he was the knucklehead of the group. So like if anybody knows who I was dealing with, Raz B was the one that you didn't want to play with. Right. So you know, so that's reality, you know what I mean? Like
so you knew you had to come in there serious.
Yeah, I had to come in there serious. I don't know if he was, you know, a knockout artist or not. I know he was a knucklehead. That's what I heard. Yeah. I heard he was nothing to play with. So my thing is, I took the fight serious. I trained for a good 3 weeks. Shout out to my trainer and my brother and my friend K.O. Lewis. Okay. He trained me, got me ready, got my hands back all the way right. And I knew I could fight already. I was just like, if he's a fighter, then I'm ready because I gotta knock this question mark off my head. Right. You know, that's how I was feeling at this time. Like now there's just a question mark of is does he still want it? What's his push? What is Steff doing? And for me to pop up and be on pay-per-view boxing shows that not only do I want it, but I'm willing to physically fight for mine.
Exactly. And you build more relationships.
Giving up.
And you can build more relationships too, which I'm sure you did, which is great.
So I mean, technically I'm under Zab Judah for the celebrity championship boxing. Mm-hmm. Under Zab Judah, 6-time world champion. Right. That's my big homie now. So like, I told them a million times I want them R&B guys. I want the Chris's and the Treys. I would love to do a 3-round fade for us. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. It's only gonna pick up the culture and let people know that us R&B guys just ain't all nice notes and smiles.
Right.
That's all. You know what I mean? And we can do some records together, but thankfully I've been writing and I'm producing and, I'm making my way in all types of ways. I built relationships with this. I met like everybody from the Black Ink Crew Chicago, the Black Ink Crew New York.
Yeah.
You just continuously get to build in this game when you go through different doors.
Exactly. So there's gonna be more fighting, you think? You'll be doing some more boxing?
Hopefully.
They
gotta listen. If I do box somebody, they at least gotta, even if they're not super famous, they at least gotta have, this is the stipulations for me. They at least gotta have or had a record deal.
Right. Yeah.
That lets me know you're a real singer.
Right.
That means that you wasn't just boxing all your life and got a record deal. No, you put in the same time that I put in to get where I'm at as a singer. And you just like to box.
Yeah.
So we got to come from the same where I can't just go out there and box somebody who just boxes on the regular. You ain't about to just go in there and make me look crazy. We got to be in the same world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I require a couple of things. Like you got to be a singer. You got to at least have a record deal. Even if you ain't a singer, you got to at least have a record deal and be famous.
Right.
You got to at least put a video out worldwide. Like these are stipulations.
Right.
You can't just fight anybody because I can ruin my name. One of my good friends got the belt and lost the belt this year. I'm gonna go ahead and keep the belt for right now, and I'll holler at y'all.
Yeah, hold on to it. All right, so let's go back to the music for a second.
Yeah.
How do you think, being everything that you went through, how do you think an artist should really prepare for this business? How do you think they should prepare? Definitely tough skin, right? Definitely tough skin.
Nowadays, it's not. You better be a chameleon. And you better be you can't even just be a chameleon. You got to be the chameleon that knows how to blend in with your surroundings. And that's the game that we've learned to be in now. I'm thankful for my time out. You know what I'm saying? I never left the game. I might have been on the bench, but I never left the team, nor did I leave the game.
I've been still watching.
Yep. I'm still here. I know what the young superstars is doing. I know what dunk I got to do to at least look good.
Yeah,
that's the difference. A lot of people just leave the stadium, they leave the game, and they just go home, put the shoes up, and get dusty. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I went and got my weight up for these boys, as you can see. Yeah, I went and got my weight together. I got my mind right. So that's the difference now.
Right.
They're really dealing with a different person. But I'm thankful for the timeout. And what I would tell the young or the old, because now it's no culture, it's no creed, there's no age group, there's no yes mans, the gatekeepers are not there anymore. All the doors are there and we can all see them. It's about getting there. It's about getting to the door and then getting the door open and then staying on the inside.
Right.
That is the way. You can't look at the game like, oh, I got to get to this person to get in. I got to get to this person to get in. That's not true. We live in a whole nother world where I can get on my phone as of today and say the right things and get the president to call me if I say the right things.
Yep.
So that's where we at in the world. I can get somebody very, very important on my phone or get somebody that don't need to be on my phone. That's the world we in.
Yeah.
You don't have to rely on this millionaire to make you a millionaire. All you got to do is come up with a great idea. I heard somebody say the other day that poor people complain about not having money. Rich people complain. They talk about having things. And rich people, wealthy people talk about ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm at in my life right now. I'm about creating great ideas right now. I'm about creating things that'll make a wave for 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 years to come. Whether it's a music song, whether it's me just making my nephews and my sons and my youngest that love me know that they're young champions. That's another reason why I did the fight, because it's like I'm breaking a curse in my family. I'm breaking when you're breaking a generational curse, it's different than just like a little 10-year curse.
Yeah.
A generational curse is different. That's 100 years.
Yeah.
So when you're fighting for that type of breakage, when you're fighting to break that chain, it's a whole nother fight. And that's why preparation is everything. If I could tell the new artist that's coming into the game, just make sure you prepare. Whatever you're doing, I don't care if you wear a banana all day. Make sure that that's your plan. Don't just do it. Come up with a great plan. Come up with a great idea and just expand on it. Live in it. Believe in it. And understand that life is not always tomorrow I'm gonna be on. I've been on for a long time, but that don't mean that I'm worth 50 million. I'm still working on my 50. I'm still working on my clear 1 million.
Yeah, I feel
But
you.
that don't mean that I'm broke.
Right. No, I feel you. So the $1 million question, I think I know which way you're gonna go with this. Do you think an artist still needs a major record label to survive out here?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Needs and wants are two different things. Because, for instance, and I say this reluctantly because I do struggle. There's a lot of, and still to this day, there's a couple that I can name specifically. I don't want to say any names, but there's a couple internet sensations as of right now that are still struggling to make the crossover musically.
Yeah.
But they got 5 million on Instagram.
But they don't know what to do with that 5 million.
Everybody got their clutch. Everybody has their clutch.
Yeah.
Everybody has their thing that they're going to fight to get to where they want to go. And I've seen on my end that my transition is just making sure I keep my youth about me and don't burn out. Yeah. You know, my thing was just keep my youth about me because I came in at a weird time. I'm still young. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is like, we living in a world now where it's just about having a great idea, being great.
Right.
Excuse my phone. That's my little brother calling me from LA. But long story short, you know, that's where we at right now. So it's just about doing the right thing and making sure your plan is correct. Like, my plan now is more so on the writing and production.
Okay, I was going to ask you what's next. Okay. Yeah. So my next question is, so what's next for you, Steff?
Excuse my phone keep going out. So what's next for me, hopefully, is this. My little brother is calling me because a major artist wants this record that I just wrote. So that's most likely what's next. He's calling me back to back because, shout out to my little brother right now. I want you to know that we're doing something live. I'm on here with a legend, Melly Mel. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure. You know what I mean? You know, we gotta show respect too, because, you know, we can't skip over all the love that you and your people over at 101.7 has showed me throughout my career. I was number one in Delaware for what, 27 weeks? A
long time. It might have been longer, but at least 27 weeks.
It was like 27 weeks on 101.7.
Yes.
I think it was Professional. That was number one.
Yeah. Crazy.
So, you know, we've had some awesome times as well, brother. Like, you supported me throughout my career on a whole nother level. And I think people need to know that this conversation is not just political. It's definitely personal, man. You blessed me and my family with in being in front of at the Delaware Carnival. I think it was the Delaware State Carnival.
Oh yeah, Delaware State Fair.
That was 10,000 people just right. You know, shout out to 101.7. You know, number one in front of 10,000. You know what I mean? Yeah. These times that we're gonna always remember. You know what I mean? And always have in my heart. So I gotta just thank you wholeheartedly for those times as well, man. I didn't want to forget that.
No problem. I appreciate it. Well, Steff, I won't take no more time, man. I know you got some big things coming, and whatever you need from, you know, just reach out. Whatever you need from me or from any of us, just reach out.
It's the biz now, baby. They know the biz now.
I appreciate it.
Much love to you, Melly Mel.